Welcome to another episode of the Peak Potential Success Show. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I have the opportunity to help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today, I have an amazing guest. He's somebody I met a few weeks ago at a virtual meetup group. And after I saw him, I knew he was full of energy, a lot of fun to talk to. And after talking to him a bit, I knew for sure I had to have him on my show. And I actually have him here today. He is a family man. He has 3 daughters. He is a skills and positioning coach. He has coached the CIS U of A team in football. He has also played for 2 CFL football teams, the Edmonton Eskimos and also the Montreal Alouettes. He is part of 2 Grey Cup championship teams with the Eskimos, and he has done so many different things. He's also an accident and sickness insurance specialist, and he is also an aspiring inventor. So please welcome the big boss father himself, Mr. Randy Spencer.
Hey.
Hey.
Happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. It's an honor. For those who don't really know your background and stuff like that, and how you got to who you are today, just give us a little story about going from football to becoming an insurance specialist.
Ooh, that's a long road. Let's start. Well, I grew up in Ottawa. I don't know how far back you want to go, but I walked down to a fair, and that fair had football. Like, people were playing football, and I ran home, and I was like, hey, I'm going to play football. And they're like, what? And that was basically the start of football, right, for me, because I saw it as a vehicle. I was like, yeah, I could do this and get a free education, go to the States, whichever, and go from there. And that's how everything started. And I was soaking wet, like 160 pounds then, and everyone looked at me like, no, you're not going to do that. But I fought through, and I worked my butt off, and eventually got a football scholarship, went down to Utah, Weaver State, played 5 years down there, got my engineering degree in architectural design graphics, and ended up getting drafted up here. The funny thing is, back then, the draft wasn't a big deal. So I was sitting in my class, and it was online. It was one of those online things where it's like tick, tick. That's how slow the internet was. But I walked out of class. I was like, yes, first round draft, and walked back into class. Yeah. But that was fun. Then I ended up here, won a couple Grey Cups with the Eskimos. I don't even know I can call them that anymore. The Edmonton Club. And then played for Montreal. And after that started the whole journey into what do you do after football. Mm-hmm. And, 10 years later, I ended up finding, insurance, which is like I never thought would be a passion piece for me, but I've loved it ever since I've started. So, yeah, if you want me to connect the dots in between there's a lot of dots.
No, I realized that there's probably a lot of different things that you tried out between the end of football to now. How long did it take you to kind of go, okay, my football career is done. You're still involved with football, but the professionally playing part is kind of done. How long did that process take? I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I still want to do it. How did you kind of decide, you know what, I'm done. Let's find something else.
Yeah, that took about 5-6 years. To be honest, at least. And I'm grateful for that whole process, because it's kind of inspired me to create an organization for, athletes for finishing sports, because when you do something that you've been so focused on for so long in your life, and you reach a goal that you thought there was no goal after that, you actually don't plan for a goal after, right? And that can be a huge detriment for people, where it's like, okay, what do you do now that you've reached your dream goal? And you don't have a backup plan. Not like backup plan as per education. Yes, you have that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times with education, when you come out of playing for 5-10 years, it's now you have to re-educate, right? So then, looking at when I was in architecture, it was like most of those programs were obsolete by the time I was done playing, especially with technology.
Yeah.
But yeah, refocusing and learning, okay, what's my new path, what's my new goal is, it's a journey in itself, and definitely look forward to helping a lot of athletes with that in the future. But it took about 5 to 6 years, short story.
Between those 5 to 6 years, how many times did you go, maybe I'll go back? Or, oh, no, I shouldn't go. Maybe I should go back.
Oh, a bunch of times. The one thing that took me, I had 3 surgeries in my last year. So that definitely delayed the thought of going back for a while. I had 2 shoulder surgeries and umbilical hernia surgery. I had just partially torn my Achilles. Most people don't know that I went through all those injuries in my last year. I played the whole season with 2 torn shoulders. So then rehabilitation was the key. And a lot of times people don't even realize you don't even have the facilities to do that after you're done. Like you're a number. So you're on your own. You're 100% on your own when those things take over.
Right. Now, during that period of time when you were deciding about retirement, did you go, you know what, I'm going to play until I can't play, or I'm going to stop at my high point?
For me at the beginning, it was more, I want to be able to have a family and lift my kids up in the air without having trouble. So I was like, I'm not going to go to the point where my body's done. And that was kind of where I was getting to a point. I should have rehabbed even more, and I could have come back. And you always think about that, going back. Did I leave putting everything into it? Fortunately, with me, I had 2 great cup rings already, so that it made it a little easier decision to say that I've done what most haven't done. So,
well, that's awesome. Very, very inspiring. I like that. Now, when it comes to you shared about the fact that you said you wanted to play football, and people looked at you going, yeah, that's not going to happen. And then you talked about playing through injuries, and then you also talked about how you were part of 2 championship teams. There's lots of obstacles, lots of challenges. How did you face those challenges, and what was that strategy that you put your mind in that one spot and go, I'm going to focus and go for it?
Yeah, having laser focus towards something, you cannot be stopped. People don't understand that feeling, and it's also a detriment to when you've had that feeling and you can't get that back towards something different, right? It's I know what it feels like to say nothing is going to stop me. I will get a football scholarship. I will play for a professional team or whichever. That you literally could not shift my mind in any other way. So I knew it didn't matter how, I was persistent enough every day that I knew I was going to reach those goals. Right. And that's a feeling, and to grab that feeling is unbelievable. 100%. But you can always get back to that. You just have to figure out where that feeling is again.
Right. Now, I would like to thank you for picking to stay back in Edmonton, because I know lots of athletes who play here kind of leave and never come back, but you chose Edmonton as your home. Why is that? Is there something special about Edmonton itself, or you just go, you know what, I built my family here already, I'm going to stay where I am?
Well, Edmonton's really good with the football club, and the alumni are really good with integrating athletes into the community. They were when I was playing, for sure. We did a lot of work within the community, or just events, things like that. So you start learning, meeting new people and networking, and it does become home, right? And the decision to go back to Ottawa per se it diminishes. It's only there for family or things like that, but more career based. And yes, I got married here, so that helps. And I got 3 kids, so my wife kind of made that decision too, where her family's here. So I don't know, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but definitely Edmonton, the opportunity that's here in the city, people can't oversee that. And building networks here, you can't beat the summers either with the late sun. Like that's worth it to me. If you're going to work hard and achieve something, that you can go travel anywhere you want. It doesn't matter where you live. You'll eventually complain about something where you live. Doesn't matter.
That's very
seriously.
It's not
even if you're in Hawaii, you'll be like, oh, it's just too beautiful today.
Too much water, too much sunshine. Yeah. Now, have you found that being in professional sports and having the success that you had in professional sports translated very well and giving you an advantage in the world of business?
Oh, 100%. Just discipline. 100% with discipline, like knowing these are the tasks that I need to do to achieve success. And if I stick to it, then I will win, right? Persistence, just responsibility to the team, responsibility to yourself, and bettering yourself every day, right? That even incremental successes, like knowing that if I do 1% better today, then I will be this much better by the end of the year. When you go to weights, like every time you're doing weights every day, you're not writing down the same number. You're trying to write, even if it's 2.5 pounds more, you're trying to write that. So that system ingrained in you from sports just replicates into business. So when you're not seeing advancement within business, something's wrong. You're like, how am I going to increase this by 2.5% or whichever, right? So sports definitely, that's where if you take someone that's actually been successful in sports, they're probably the best person to put in your business.
Now, have you found times where you're facing a difficult client or a big client that you want to actually get onto your team or on your list? Have you gone, okay, you're going to pull out that football player mindset in you and go, I'm going to go and get this done. So what's that? Do you have that mantra or some kind of steps that you go through to land that big client?
There'll be times where I'll be talking to myself inside in the car before I go, and it's like game time. Like, okay, let's go, right? But it's pre-planning, proper preparation defeats poor decisions, right? So just knowing to go in with the right plan and to pay attention to the actual person's needs and deal in a human way instead of, I don't deal with like salesy things. Like I'm more about education and giving the value that's needed. And if you can show the value within what you do, then it translates to what you need.
Yeah. Very good. During your time in with the Empton Club, you mentioned about giving back to the community. You mentioned about working with different organizations and doing fundraisers and charities. Now, when I first talked to you at that meetup group, you said you're doing a golfing tournament for a fundraiser too. How important is giving back when you get to a level of success that you have already reached?
I don't even think it's about getting to the level of success. Everybody should do it at some point in some way. Like even when I was young, I would, every Christmas, I'd go down, I'd take whichever old jacket I have and take it to a homeless person. You don't have to get to any level of stature or anything to give back to someone else to see how beneficial it is to yourself, right? Doing the programs that we do, we're just able to reach more people because it affects people are more cognizant of what we're doing. So then they're like, oh, what are those guys doing? Then it helps even more. Right. Yeah. But like if I say on my Facebook that we're doing something to give back to someone, then more people are going to, notice it and probably participate than the regular. Right. So yeah, everybody should do something to help someone else. That's the basic thing.
So now you're into your second or third career Yeah, as a specialist in insurance, what do you think that most people don't actually realize when it comes to the accidental and health insurance area that everybody should know? Because now you're an expert in this area. What do you tell
Yeah.
people who don't have these kind of programs or these kind of products with them right now?
Yeah, most people don't even know that it exists. Like 100%, 9 out of 10 people I sit down with have no clue that there's actual insurance that will pay you, that has no deductibles, unlimited claims, there's no funny business, like that pays you for everyday occurrences.
Mhm.
Like it blows people's minds when I tell them some of the claims that I deal with. Like I had a kid that was walking a dog on a treadmill. Like kids do stupid things like trips, get stitches, gets paid $500. Like
Oh,
what parent, like, the kid's already working for you, kind of. Right? But I can tell you the craziest claims, but they're everyday things that people aren't prepared for. Like, even car accidents, racing, like all the activities that people do. I had one lady, she got paid over $40,000 on a
wow.
$14 policy
Mhm.
for a car, for a car accident. It like changed their lives.
Mhm.
And then just for active families and the coverage that you can have that covers all your kids the exact same way at a massive discount. Like people just don't know they exist, and I just love educating people because I didn't know it existed. Like, see, before I had no clue, and I sat down and put pen to paper and looked at all the injuries I had growing up. And I'm in sports and I have a lot, but there's a lot of people out there in sports also, and I would have claimed well over 100,000 just for myself
Mhm.
on all my little breaks and surgeries and things like that I'd had throughout my career. Like just alone on 7 broken fingers, 2 broken ankles, 2 broken toes, that would have been over $50,000 in claims.
Wow.
Right. I think going through college, I wouldn't have had to call home to mom and dad as many times to help me with my rent. So
So
yeah,
do you have like a body chart or a skeleton at home and go, okay, that's been broken and that's been broken and
I
that's
should.
been
That's how I should teach my kids about the anatomy and everything. So
So instead of that world map where you have pins of all the places that you've been, you have a skeleton that goes, okay, this is broken, that's been sprained.
we just play the game Operation. That's all.
So being a father of 3 daughters and being a professional athlete before, do you want to see your kids in professional sports or do you
Yeah.
not?
You know what? I just want them to do whatever makes them happy. That's 100%. And would it be awesome if they're in sports of some kind? Sure. But I like knowing that I didn't start football till I was 12. I'm in no rush with them.
Mhm.
And then, I did soccer and a few things before, but it's more about being versatile and trying many different things. The best time I had though was during this whole mess. Family's home, and we worked out as a family like every single day. So my daughters are doing push-ups and they're doing 10, 15, 20 push-ups, and I was like, yes. I'm like, I see that little thing, like the light goes off. I was like, haha, she's an athlete. But I don't want to get into that zone, right?
You don't
it's
want to
just fun.
be too overly excited or else you push them over the edge and they stop doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And just like if you're a natural born athlete, then go at it and then add some success and discipline to it, you'll be great. So eventually it'll come if they choose something.
Now, you mentioned about this whole COVID lockdown and the change of what it changed everybody's lives. As an
Mhm.
entrepreneur yourself, how did you adjust to that? How did you adjust and still make it work for you? And then, like, how did you apply it to your business?
I studied more. I picked up more books. I read more. I listened to more. I even added a personal coach for myself. so that I could just continually progress so that I'm going to be ahead of everybody else when this whole mess comes out, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's either you better yourself and get prepared, like, while other people are not working out in the gym. Like, it's off season. People think it's off season. It's season time, 24/7. Like, you either better yourself or you're not. So for me, I just kept on pushing, networking with a group called Syndicate, which has been amazing. And those types of things just make me better.
Well, awesome. That's a very good mindset. That forever learning attitude allows us to keep on growing and growing and achieving more success. You mentioned coaching, and you added another football coach to you. How has coaching affected your life? Like, you've been in professional sports, you've gone into business. Was the coaching different in like the stuff that they teach you? How the mindset that they teach you, has that been different from a professional's athlete point of view, and also as an entrepreneur?
Which coaching are you talking about? Like an actual coach for myself or me coaching others?
People coaching you.
Oh, okay, people coaching me. Well, the one thing I know is throughout football or sports or anything, when I liken any successes I've had, it's come from, it's not all personal, right? You have to have someone else coach you to get better about certain things. So it's like, I've always had a personal coach in the gym. So why wouldn't I have a personal coach in life, right? So, like, if someone's there to spot me, help me figure out how to use my muscles the right way in the best ways, yeah, you may have an understanding of a lot of things, but it helps when you have a coach to direct you specifically to points that you are going to better yourself at. And having that, I just kind of decided, okay, it may cost a little bit, but it is worth every penny times 10 to actually have that direction and have someone coach me into, helping me with those things that I'm either weaker at or better at and need to focus in and fine tune, if that makes all sense.
What would you say is the biggest coaching lesson you've ever gotten?
Right now it's more of a paradigms of like things that are in your subconscious that control you, without you even realizing it. So just breaking down bad habits that you're not even, because you're on autopilot. A lot of people don't realize, okay, well, where did that time go? How did I get from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock? And it feels like I didn't do anything, but I did something. Like, how does that even happen? Right? So just managing time and making the best of everything that you do throughout a day has been, starting to be working really well.
You talked about going into a virtual, like doing meetup groups and networking and all that kind of stuff. So obviously building relationships is very important in your life and also in business success. What would you say the top 3 elements of building good, strategic, strong relationships would be?
Listening. Listening to the person that you're actually talking to and having, like, wanting to help that person. Like, if you're going in for sole purposes, you're never going to get anything out of it, right? If you're not focusing on how can I help somebody else, you're not going to help yourself at the same time. I don't know so that's like the one thing. Networking has been great when you focus on how can I help somebody else within this group, and then it just blossoms into better relationships, right? When you finally get a group that you can just contribute to each other, the longer that you're in a group, it becomes more of a family, and then you're able to just grow together and learn more. Yeah.
Now, talking to you, I do feel a lot of energy from you. You have a great sense. You have a great sense of being able to pull in that motivation and pull in that energy to talk to people. What's your daily routine? How do you wake up in the morning, and how do you get yourself started and just be ready to go?
Well, I've been trying to fine tune that because I never thought I was a morning person, to be honest. I'm a night owl. So I've been just starting to wake up, like, past month or so at 5:30, and I listen to an audio for about 20 minutes. I write out self-image or goals for another 20, 30 minutes. Get kids ready for school, take them to school usually. So by that time I get to the office, or sometimes I'll go to the office or stay at home, or whichever works for me, and just continue to work the day that way, if that makes sense. But I don't have any crazy other morning things. The second I'm awake and I stand up, I'm good. I'm that kind of person. It's like, I don't get groggy, like drag my feet or anything. If I'm standing, I'm good.
That's good.
It's like getting to standing is the part of time. That's the hard for me. It's like, I like kind of slink and slide out of the bed, like, and then if I stand up, I'm good.
I like how you said you're a night owl, but then you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And I hope people hear that, because lots of people go, I can't get up until like 9 o'clock. I'm like, man, you wasted like 4 hours of your day already.
Oh, yeah.
Waking up early is still very important, even if you're a night owl.
Yeah. Oh, I used to be up all the time till 2, and like easy till 2. Like I don't know how I did it, but now I'll like kind of shut down at midnight, but I'm still up at 5:30.
Wow.
So
yeah. So lots of people go, they need like a full 8-10 hours of sleep to function. You're saying that's not true.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Even if my health was even better, then I guarantee I don't even need 5.5. Right? But yeah, I'll get to that point eventually.
Now, I know you're also an aspiring inventor. You have a very creative mind, and you're able to also kind of plan that whole process out. I'm not sure if you share much about your upcoming invention, but tell me about that process of being an entrepreneur, and then all of a sudden going, you know what, this doesn't exist, I'm going to make it myself.
Well, you know what, the first thing I'd say is a lot of people have a lot of ideas that they don't follow through with. And I myself was the same. Like over the years, people will tell you, if you know me, I've said, oh, you should do this, we should do this, we should make this. And I never followed through on any, and it's kind of, I had a heart attack about almost a year ago. It'll be a year in about a month and 2 weeks. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to entertain not doing things anymore. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's where my last idea came from, and it kind of spawned from. And I said, well, let's go, let's do it. And it's been 9 months of trying to kind of get this thing going and bring it to market. It's been really good so far. And I think I'm going to start a Kickstarter. So maybe by the time this airs or whatever, everybody get ready. You just look for a Kickstarter. Go find my page. I'll create one. We'll plug it by then, and there'll be a Kickstarter, and we'll see what my invention can do.
Great. Well, when that comes, send me the link. I'll add it to the podcast here, and we'll send it out for everybody else to click on. So for somebody who has done so many things and has achieved so much success, if you had the opportunity to say something to everybody in the world, one main message, what would that main message be?
Start. Like, yeah. Well, I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know. If you're not doing what you love doing, find a way to get to do that. Mm-hmm. Even if don't just quit your job like I do. Like I'm the type of crazy person that will literally leave a job if I'm not happy and go do what I'm doing, because I have that for myself, and I never worry about doing well in anything I do. I just literally don't, because I've gone through the path where if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So where you don't have that, then start learning, start reading, studying something in the 15 minutes to half an hour or an hour a day. If you're miserable, find a way to be happy, right? And if you're happy, find a way to be happier. I don't know. it's just worth it. Like I just can't, having your own freedom, time, everything, your family, it is worth it. So I don't know where to go with that.
Well, no, the message is clear. Start and keep on improving your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
focus on yourself for sure. Like everything else will fall into place if you get better for yourself.
So aside from the Kickstarter that's going to be coming up soon, if anybody wants to reach you with regards to insurance help or coaching help, what's the best way to reach you?
Let's see. I'm on Boss Benefits on Facebook. That's my Facebook page. You can message me through Messenger or The Boss Father on Insta, or even just shoot me a text at my phone number. I listen to everything, so I talk to everybody. So yeah.
I gotta ask, because every time I look at that name, the Boss Father, and even though you saying Boss Father, you have a smile on your face. So is there a story behind that, or how did they come up?
The Boss Father is basically because I coach a lot of athletes, so I still coach with the Huskies, and the Boss Father came about with me wanting to be my own boss as a father, right? So the premise was more of me helping other fathers be their own boss.
Nice.
And so that's kind of where it spawned, if that makes sense. So I want other fathers to, even if it's not work, it's about being a better father, being a better husband, whichever, but, be the boss father.
Very, very cool. Before I let you go, I have 5 quick questions for you. Just come up with the first one that comes to mind. If you were able to star in a movie, who would you like your co-star to be?
Co-star?
Who you're the star. Who do you want your co-star to be?
Oh, do I get Gal Gadot?
You can pick whoever you want.
I'd have to be a superhero. But I don't want to be in DC, but I still want Wonder Woman, so
that's fine. Crossover.
yeah, crossover.
All right, so you have Gal Gadot in your living room right now, and she goes, "Hey, I'm hungry. What are you gonna cook her?"
Let's see. Prosciutto wrapped shrimp. That would be the appetizer. Maybe beef tenderloin for dinner, and lemon cheesecake.
Wow, that's a full course meal, like 3-course meal. Most people answer one dish.
I love cooking.
Nice. If you had a chance to arm wrestle The Rock or the Terminator,
who
would you like to arm wrestle?
I'd have to go with the Terminator because he's a little older now. I might have a shot.
How about if both of them were in their prime?
Oh God, can I be in my prime though?
Oh yeah, you're in your prime. you're in your prime. They're in their prime. Who do you think you have a shot with?
Oh, either or. I don't know. I love arm wrestling, so
you're gonna take.
I got my own. I got a technique. I don't lose. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm gonna air this, and then hopefully The Rock hears this. And he'll take you on.
Gym. Oh man, you're killing me.
If you had a chance to do any extreme sport right now, what sport would that be?
What is that one where you're like you're in a wingsuit, and you get to fly turn
into like a flying squirrel kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'd try that.
And then finally,
if I wasn't gonna die.
You got life insurance.
Well, I don't like life insurance. That's for people when I'm gone. I want living benefit insurance. Stuff that's gonna take care of me. I don't want to die now. Come on, man.
And finally, what is success like? And before you answer that question, I have 5 cards here. Pick a number between 1 and 5.
3.
1, 2, 3. So how is success like a peacock?
How is success like a peacock?
Yeah.
You got to spread those feathers, baby. You got to spread those feathers. You got to be all colorful.
Nice.
You got to get it out there.
Nice and simple.
God bless them, baby.
And that is how success is like a peacock. You got to spread your wings and spread your feathers. Well, thank you very much, Randy. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have you on my show. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks.
So until next time, that is Randy Spencer. My name is Fong. Until next time, today is the day to unlock your potential. I'll see you later.